Fired up, footballers. What's going on? James here, coming at you with a little bit of news just following the Chicago Fire loss of 2-0 to the Columbus Crew off Giassi Zardes goals. But before we get to that, if you could take a moment to please consider subscribing to Spitting Fire YT. It would be awesome if today was the day that we earned your subscription. And if you smash that like button, it greatly helps the YouTube algorithms pick up Chicago Fire content and transmit that out to the masses. Greatly appreciate you guys taking the moment to do that. As we take a moment just to let you know, don't be me. But before we get to that as well, Section 8 Chicago, Greater Chicago Food Depository is still going on. Chicago Fire fans have been smashing it. Absolutely just doing great. It's over halfway there, and we're only a third of the way through the season. Greatly appreciate anybody who contributes to it. It's $1 buys 3 meals for our local Chicago community for people who suffer from food insecurity, and it goes a long way. Greatly appreciate you guys taking that time to consider donating to Chicago Food Depository. And as always, we have links in the description for all this stuff. By the way, Spitting Fire YT podcast is on Google, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher, and all your other podcast apps that you love and know and love. But getting to the thumbnail of the story, I called out Calvo this morning. Don't be me. Don't be the asshole that I was this morning. I'm watching Chicago Fire highlights. I wasn't able to watch the game yesterday, and I'm watching the highlights, and just some of these mistakes just stand out, and they are just egregious. Like, maybe a little less nachos there for Nacho. But we need, in seeing these goals, I got upset. A little bit of Calvo, a little bit of the team. And I went and did something stupid and called out Calvo. And really, guys, don't do that. Don't be me. Don't be calling out a player. I was an asshole. I firmly recognize that I was, and I shouldn't have done that. And I won't be doing that again. But all the same, I'm watching this play, and it just, Calvo drifts off of Zardes, the eventual goal scorer, to do what? And my question was like, what's the benefit of taking this position here when you abandon your man and go into this no man's land? In fact, taking up the space of the goalkeeper. In fact, taking up the space where the goalkeeper could step forward and use his hands to help cover. Calvo drops back as the ball bounces here over to Zardes. He was on Zardes literally a second before that, but he as the ball went over his shoulder, he's not tracking Zardes. He's tracking the ball. He drifts into this no man's space, taking right up the space, taking it up in front of Bobby Shuttleworth, who's unable to truly make a play now because the way that Calvo's positioned as a goalkeeper in front of him, and the goal goes in. And I didn't like that. And then I saw the second goal, which also stood out to me as just like, I don't know, just didn't ring right, but all the same, these are highlights. These are contained in the game, and hence, I shouldn't be going off on Calvo like this. So, but I'll get to Calvo here in a second. Anyway, look at this awesome pass. This guy's drifting back. Calvo's just walking. I've seen people on Lakeshore Drive running faster, jogging faster than that. And he's a professional athlete and Costa Rican international, and he's just jogging after, not putting any pressure on this guy. And that's what I was like, oh, come on. You're our captain. You got to be trying so much harder than that. And it's all over at that point. Everybody's done cooked. Well, the same, and that's what elicited my response on Twitter to go out and call out Calvo. And then I said, prove me wrong, Calvo. And Calvo went and liked it. And that said a lot to me, because here I am. I'm being an asshole fan. And Calvo is like, you know what? Bam. I'm going to hit that like button because this is criticism that, hey, I could take. Who are you, first of all? Who are you? I don't know who you are, but whatever. It's criticism. Boom, like, move on to the next, upward and onwards. And I thought that was very classy of Francisco Calvo, and a very unclassy moment by me. Apologies to Francisco Calvo and the players. That is me being a freaking asshole. But all the same, really showed some quality there out of a captain, and that's the Fire I do like to see. I don't know if you guys like to see it, but I hope you do. But that seems like a very Dax McCarty type of thing. And when somebody goes at Dax McCarty is not afraid. He does not back down. He's a captain. He can take the criticism and move on if the criticism is warranted. And that's what I saw out of Calvo here, and maybe I can take a little criticism too and not do that again. All the same, so apologies to Calvo, but also really like his response and just showing he's going to go prove us wrong. I really hope he does. The Chicago Fire are 8 games into a 34-game season. It is not looking good for them at the moment. Wiki is struggling. Some of Heights' picks are struggling, and it's just the Chicago Fire do have 26 games, though, to turn this around. There's still time. There really is. It's only been about a third of the season played out. 8 games down, 26 to go. Upwards and onwards. Hope we see a lot better play out of the men in red. This last game was not it. It was coming off of a long break, 2-week break, but hopefully we could see some better changes going forward in the next 2 games. Next 2 games are, of course, Chicago versus Cincinnati. That'll be Wednesday, June 23rd, 7 p.m. And then Chicago versus Philadelphia Union. That'll be Saturday, June 26th, 7 p.m. Both games at 7 p.m. Wednesday and Saturday this week. Excited to see what they could do there. What the concerning thing is, I'll say this, is if both of those games come out losses, what should we expect from the Chicago Fire executive team? Do we expect do we expect Wiki to be moving on at that point if we see 2 losses? What is Wiki in that type of position of a hot seat right now? Is Georg Heights and also in that type of hot seat? It definitely seems like Wiki has the hotter seat than Heights, but this is all just speculation from what we read from our great Chicago Fire writers out there at Hot Time in Old Town and over at the Tribune and the Sun-Times. So it just leaves us here to speculate that maybe Wiki's job is a bit more on the line, and I mean the last place struggling team with this type of seventh highest paid roster in MLS it's just not good enough results. So that makes you concerned for Wiki's job in the near future. All the same, if he could turn around, it'd be great. But can they turn it around? They have 4 goals for in their first 8 games, as well as 13 goals against. The least scoring offense in MLS here, in the MLS East anyway. They're the least scoring offense in MLS total with 4 goals for, and with 13 goals against. They're amongst the most porous MLS defenses. So a lot to fix in a little while, and there's 26 games to do it. Have we seen enough out of the men in red and Wiki's tactics to believe that he's the right guy to continue forward? I'm not sure. What do you guys think in the comments? Let us know. As always, greatly appreciate you guys taking the time to come hang out with Spitting Fire YT today. Smash that like button. Please consider subscribing to Spitting Fire YT. Greatly appreciate it. Today was the day we earned your subscription. Excited for some Euro 2020 action going on right now. It's been fun. And really hope that Chicago Fire improve. Concerned, very concerned. We need to see some very big changes sooner than later. Chinonso Ofor getting more time in the attack and Carlos Terran getting more time in the defense definitely seems to be those seem to be good decisions, and they're going to take time to develop. They're going to make mistakes, and it's going to take time. They're both young players. I'd like to see a little bit more John Espinoza, maybe a couple other players as well. We're going to see a lot of hard decisions out of Rafa Wiki here in the next few games because his job is truly on the line, and he's doing what he can to win these games. Hopefully, the Fire can do that, but should they not, it does leave us to speculate who could be the next coach for the Chicago Fire, and if we're going to have a new coach coming in mid-season for our men in red. And who that coach might be, let us know in the comments if you guys have any ideas. Greatly appreciate you guys taking the time today to come talk a little Chicago Fire with us. As always, smash that like button, and we'll catch you later. Fire it up, footballers. Have a great one.